Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching me from. It's a pleasure to welcome you to your favorite sport podcast where a comrade voice made global sport intelligent. I am your host, Kyle Deojo. I'll be breaking down the world's biggest sports stories with sharp analysis, with honesty, and with the passion that it truly deserves. Now, today we are going to be focusing on the UEFA Champions League draw, where we have known the fate of the team that will be playing each other in the round of 16 in the UEFA Champions League, and it's going to determine the road to the final in Budapest. Now, are you a sport lover anywhere in the world, especially a lover of the European football, where you follow your top leagues in the world, and any lover of football all over the world, be it in Australia, be it in Canada, be it in United Kingdom? I tell you, be it here in Nigeria, I tell you, this episode is actually made for you. Now, let's take a few quick headlines from the world of sports. We have Cristiano Ronaldo buy 25% stake in Spanish club. Cristiano Ronaldo announced that he has actually acquired a 25% stake in the Saudi-owned Spanish second division club Almeria. Almeria was last in the Spanish top flight in 2024, third in the second division of the Spanish league, Secunda, 1 point from the automatic promotion places. Now, this club, Almeria, is owned by Saudi group SMC. And in a statement, the club actually said that they have welcomed the investment of Cristiano Ronaldo into the club, and they are happy to have him part of the ownership, the club ownership led by SMC Group. Congratulations there to Cristiano Ronaldo, who is the lover of this game called football. Now, let's go to our next sporting headline. Chelsea made English record as they record £355 million loss in 2024-2025 season, as reviewed by UEFA data. Chelsea made a financial loss of £355 million in the 2024-2025 season, according to the data that is released by UEFA, and that's the biggest deficit that's ever recorded by an English football club. That's the biggest. However, according to UEFA, Chelsea's losses were more than double the second worst in Europe, and the worst in Europe was posted by Lyon, £171 million. The figures are also about 260 worse than those posted by the Blues in the 2023-2024 season. So this Chelsea team that has actually been reporting losses for the past two seasons are not well, and you can say, but according to this data that we are having before us, that probably they are not well managed by the investment vehicle Blue Co. According to UEFA, said that Chelsea actually have the most expensive squad in history. They are assembled at a combined cost of over £1.5 billion. And you know, Chelsea actually been going into contractor agreements with players who they feel that they have a future ahead of them with a long-term contract. The classical example is the 8-year contract they gave to Ukrainian winger Mikhailo Modric, for what has been reported to be around £100,000 a week. And you know, in a bid to actually balance their book, the owner of Chelsea, that's the Blue Code, they've actually gone ahead to sell the club hotel on the club ground, due to, you know, in a way for them to meet the Premier League profitability and sustainability rules. And also on the list of Europe's biggest financial losers are Strasbourg, the sister club of Chelsea, the ownership of Chelsea, Blue Co, who are actually ranked number 8 in the UEFA list, which reported losses of £69 million in Ligue 1. And they've spent increasing substantial figures on transfer fees in the past 3 seasons. And many of those deals in their transfer transaction has been between themselves and Chelsea Football Club. 9 transfers from London in this season alone. Now let's go to the international scene. Nigerian Super Eagles of Nigeria get a boost as FIFA clears Okonkwo for Nigerian duty. Now, Wrexham goalkeeper Arthur Okonkwo has been cleared by FIFA to be able to represent Nigeria. The 24-year-old now is not eligible for selection ahead of the March international window, where the Super Eagles will compete in a 4-nation invitational tournament in Amman, right there in Jordan. Nigeria will face Iran on March 27th before taking on host Jordan 4 days later at the Amman International Stadium. Now the team is expected to open camp for this tournament on March 24th. Now Okonkwo clearance actually comes amid uncertainty surrounding our first choice goalkeeper, the giant himself, Stanley Nwabali, who is currently without a club. Now FIFA approved the goalkeeper switch of allegiance from England to Nigeria in January 2026, and that has concluded its process. Okonkwo, who is born in London to Nigerian parents, represented England at youth levels between 2015 and 2019, featuring for the under 15, under 16, and under 17 and under 18 teams. And that decision actually was as a result of the discussion that he had with the Super Eagles coach Eric Chell during the Unity Cup in London last year. And it was because of administrative procedures that actually ruled Okonkwo out of the 2025 African Cup of Nations. If not, he would have been able to make it with those squad. The former Arsenal goalkeeper has been regular for West Ham this season, having stepped in for their goalkeeper who had injury, Danny Ward, who sustained an injury. And Okonkwo has actually been good this season. He has recorded 6 clean sheets in 20 league appearances this season. Although even if it's a championship, but at least he's actually still doing very well for himself in with West Ham. Now let's go to another news that is making round of sports. In basketball, the Tigress unveiled World Cup qualifying provisional squad. The Tigress, that's the female basketball team of Nigeria. They've actually announced the 7-time African champion. They've announced a provisional squad for ahead of the FIBA Women's Basketball World Qualifying Tournament that is set to take place from 11 to 17th of March 2026 right there in Lyon in France. Head coach Rena Wakama, who has selected a blend of seasoned campaigners and emerging talent as the side prepare to face France, Germany, South Korea, Colombia, and the Philippines in the qualifying event. Nigeria will actually be opening their qualifying campaign against Colombia in March 11th, followed by games against South Korea on March 12th, the Philippines on March 14th, and the French on March 15th, before they will now round it up with Germany on March 17th. And the top 3 teams from this group will advance to the next stage. Now let's bring you to the latest transfer rumor that we are having. Al Ahly to tempt Paul Onuachu with a huge pay rise right there in Saudi Pro League. The Saudi Pro League team, Al Ahly, is plotting to move for Super Eagles striker Paul Onuachu and are prepared to actually triple his wages in a bid to lure him away from Turkish side Trabzonspor. And the 31-year-old Paul Onuachu has actually been in scintillating form this season. He has scored 17 goals and has registered 1 assist in just 20 appearances. You know, according to some reports, Al Ahly are understood to be in market for a frontline attacker, as they are set to lose Ivan Toney, who is saying is going to go back to Europe at the end of the season, and they feel that Paul Onuachu is actually the best option for them, and they have made him their primary target. Nigerian is actually tied to transfer till 2028. Although the Saudi Pro League are giant, they are willing to test his resolve financially when they are able to offer, to triple the wage of Paul Onuachu. Presently, Paul Onuachu actually, receive £48,000 per week, and Al Ahly are ready to triple it, and that's about 144. They are offering, they'll be proposing an offer of £144,000 per week, more. That's 3 times more than his salary. Now let's touch on our main talking point for today. Champions League round of 16 draw. Now this draw of the UEFA Champions League has actually been completed, and there's a standout tie that we see Chelsea playing against the defending champion Paris Saint-Germain, and a repeat of last year Club World Cup final. My God, what a match up! And I know that many fans, many sport lovers out there, European football lovers, they will be itching to see, will Chelsea be able to replicate their form that made them to defeat the defending champion, UEFA Champions League defending champion Paris Saint-Germain right there at the Club World Cup final, 3-0. Or will PSG be ready and be prepared to actually take their own revenge and take a pound of their flesh against Chelsea in that matchup? Chelsea were playing against Paris Saint-Germain. Arsenal has been drawn against Bayer Leverkusen, while Real Madrid will be taking on Manchester City. I'd like to give you a lowdown of this round of 16 matches. Don't forget, these matches will play between March 10 and 11 and March 17 and 18. Now the full list of these fixtures are as follows. We have Sporting Lisbon will be playing against Bodo Glimt. What a matchup. Man, it's going to be a very fortunate thing for either of these teams to actually make it to the quarter-final stage of the UEFA Champions League this season. Bayer Leverkusen playing against all-conquering Arsenal, who are still undefeated in the UEFA Champions League this season. And Real Madrid, another match-watching clash, will be hosting Manchester City. And then Atalanta will be playing against Bayern Munich. And PSG, like I said, will play against Chelsea. Atletico Madrid will play against the Chelsea London rival Tottenham Hotspur. Newcastle United will be hosting the Blaugrana, that is the FC Barcelona. The Lamine Yamal-led FC Barcelona will be playing against Newcastle United. Galatasaray will be hosting Liverpool. Don't forget, these two teams, they met at the group phase, and it was a shocking defeat in the hands of Galatasaray by Liverpool. I mean, it was a shocking win for Galatasaray against Liverpool, 1-0, and it was a tough one. All parts is now set for the remaining teams to actually navigate their way through to the final right there in Budapest. Now, don't forget, the road to the final has been actually been laid down. Whoever that wins between PSG and Chelsea will be playing against whoever that wins between Galatasaray and Liverpool. Why Real Madrid, whoever that wins between Real Madrid and Man City will be playing against Atalanta and Bayern. And these two winners will play, whoever that wins in these two phases will play against each other. Either PSG, Chelsea, Gala, Liverpool will be playing against each other in the semi-final between Real Madrid, Man City, Atalanta and Bayern Munich. Then we have the other pair where Newcastle United will be playing against Barcelona. Whoever that wins between them in this match will play against Atletico Madrid and Tottenham. And whoever wins between these four teams that were able to conquer all will play in the semi-finals against either Bodo Glimt, Sporting Lisbon, Leverkusen or Arsenal Football Club. Now the road is set for whoever that will go all the way. Now this is the most serious business end of the UEFA Champions League. I'd like to hear from you. What are your thoughts? Who do you think will be able to go all the way in this season UEFA Champions League? Do you think Paris Saint-Germain has all it takes to actually defeat Chelsea and at the same time go all the way to defend their title in this season UEFA Champions League? Or do you believe they are going to have a new champion in the wait? I'd like to thank you all for watching this episode for today, and I want to special thanks to Almighty God for the privilege for this shooting. I'd like to appreciate my headline sponsor, the Boss Lagos, for being a partner in making this shoot making this shoot possible. I'd like to thank every one of you out there. I will see you in the next edition. It is still your favorite sports show where football meets intelligence. Thank you.